Hi, everyone, and welcome to our first ever episode of Rounding the Bases. I'm Aaron Markwardt. To my left is the softball coach, Shannon Gower. Shannon, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. So, for the people who don't know you, Shannon, just kind of give us a little bit of insight on who you are personally, kind of your coaching experience, everything like that.
Well, I have been here for 20 years, played ball here, and I still had a little bit of school left because I transferred in. And I basically was like a student assistant for our coach and had no intention of coaching. I was a marketing major, was lined up to do internships for a publishing company, and he decided to leave. And at 23, I applied for the job as interim, and I've been here ever since.
There you go, yeah. So obviously, like you mentioned, you're 20. It's insane. So how does it feel looking back, like knowing you've been here 20 years, looking back on just all the incredible years you've had? Like, what's that feel like?
It makes me feel old, but it's definitely awesome. Like, you know, it's crazy to see like your past athletes now have kids, and their kids, some of them are in high school, or you know, some athletes from like 5 years ago, they're getting married or you know having babies. So and they're bringing them to their games in their strollers. You know what I mean? So it's been an awesome experience to see them grow.
Yeah, absolutely. So looking back all the way to year one, interim head coach. What advice would you go back and give yourself if you wanted to give yourself any advice?
I think like as like year one, and I'm looking back, I would say that I always knew how I knew the game, you know what I mean? But to really establish like a coaching philosophy and kind of how I wanted to implement into a program, that would be, you know, the advice that I give myself is just really understanding how to run a program. And, you know, the game's changing every day, every year, you know what I mean? So you're always having to adapt. But just kind of really getting a significant philosophy for the girls.
Yeah, absolutely. So going on to last year, finished 24 and 27. What was your kind of expectation going, or I guess what was the focus going into the offseason preparing for this year?
I think the main thing, you know, I think since probably 2020 and even 2021, we've battled with small team, you know, just injuries and things of that nature. So I think the most part is that we really wanted to establish a team and a culture. We had to rebuild our culture last year and have kids behind our starters that could challenge them and push them. So a lot of versatility. So we went out and recruited pretty hard, and we have a bigger group this year that's very versatile and able just to compete against each other.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously with all those things going into the offseason, did you have any expectations going into this year, or kind of is blank slate? Like, what's that look like for you?
I mean, I definitely always have expectations. You know, expectations is always just to go past, you know, conference tournament. We're in a very competitive conference. So, you know, we always have an expectation to advance further than we do. So just mainly just working together and getting the chemistry and, you know, beating the significant teams that we need to beat to further ourselves. So always expecting something.
Yeah, absolutely. So this past weekend, coming off of the LSU Alexandria Generals Showdown or tournament, I can't remember exactly what it was called, but kind of tell us like what you saw that was good, bad, kind of in the middle. Like, what did that look like for you for your team this weekend?
So I knew that we were going into a good tournament. You know, we played the 14th team in the nation as of right now, and then the 21st team in the nation. So they were competitive. So the main thing is that we knew that we were going to play against some strong opponents. So we basically just we needed to hit. We didn't hit as well as we needed to. So as far as things that I saw good, we made some great plays. You know, our pitchers did well. We did have some key hits, putting the ball in play, just not scoring it up completely. But most importantly, like the chemistry and the camaraderie within the group, I would say that's the most important for us right now, especially such a new unit. But you know, we just showed up yesterday and ready to work, you know, on things that we need to work on the weekend and prepare us for this upcoming weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. So kind of looking at your roster this year compared to last year, you have some returning players here and there. Also several new faces, as you've mentioned, with getting on the recruiting trail, everything like that. Who on your team has kind of emerged as a leader, and what have they brought to the table for y'all so far?
I feel like everyone leads in their own way. You know, we have some leaders that basically lead by example, and they're kind of quiet. We have some vocal leaders. I would say that for those that are new that are here, I would say Ashley, one of our shortstops, really stands out. She's very vocal. She's very much team-oriented. But we have many kids on this group that lead.
Yeah, absolutely. So we talked a little bit about last year, kind of y'all's record and everything. And a few weeks ago, the SAC preseason poll came out when y'all finished 6th. What does that speak to you? Like, does that say anything to you guys? Does that kind of excite you for going into the conference play? What does it look like for y'all?
I think for me, it kind of just puts a little chip on my shoulder. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to be that low. And it just, to me, it makes you more hungry, like to kind of prove them wrong. And so, kind of like Coach Garza said, it's based off last year's, ratings or whatever. And last year we didn't have a good year. And, I'm hoping to see this group do more this year and just kind of prove them wrong and just compete, and every single game matters, and, just finish the season strong.
Absolutely. So kind of like I was saying in the last show, so not a coach, so I don't understand it necessarily, but is there a series on your calendar in which you circled it and said, hey, we're like this one, we've got to win no matter what?
So every game you do have to win, and it's I wish it was easier said than done, right? But, if you play a top tier opponent and you beat them, that's great. But then if you turn around and you lose to someone who isn't in the polls, it's not going to matter. So basically kind of even out. So every game is just as important as the other.
Yeah, absolutely. So last question for you, just for fun. So as we were discussing literally an hour before the show started, you're a big outdoors person, you love to travel, all this kind of things. So my question for you is, do you have a dream vacation? Like, where is that at? Why go there? What's that look like?
Oh, man. I would love to go to Thailand. It seems so serene. The culture seems interesting, and the pictures online look great. You know what I mean? So I love Thai food, so I would love to go to Thailand. That's
I was about to
definitely a
ask
bucket.
if you're a foodie.
Yes.
Because I know
Yes.
Thai food's awesome. So
I love Thai food.
I love
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Well, Shannon, that's all the questions I have for you. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you.